So lads, this was a huge announcement by Unrivaled, and this is something that is very interesting. Angel Reese is another player who is not currently on the Unrivaled list.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if the drama began to cost more than the show? Angel Reese's comeback was abruptly stopped by Unrivaled, and the warning flags were there all along. The post-season no-show, the turnovers, the mebounds, and the never-ending technical errors. The league that included her just concluded that the chaos wasn't worth the attention. That spark simply destroyed her relationship with the same Angel Reese who used to boast about energizing every team. According to a number of accounts, Unrivaled remembered who had abandoned them during the post-season A. This is not a delay in negotiations. It's a discreet split disguised as a roster update. Let's examine Reese's journey from face of the Unrivaled to league dismissal. Do you believe that firing Reese was the appropriate move for Unrivaled? Tell us in the comments section below.
Unrivaled, they've named most of their players coming for the year 2, the second season. And like I said earlier, Angel is not one of the people on that list.
When the second season of Unrivaled was released suddenly, the quiet surrounding Angel Reese spoke louder than a press statement. Her name, initially prominently displayed on every poster, had vanished. No report of injuries, no, just a lack of a statement. People on the internet began inquiring as to if this was a mistake, or a message. And to be honest, considering her track record, it's difficult to dispute wasn't both. The athlete who proudly claimed to be the first unparalleled somehow, the champion had vanished from league she assisted in founding. The competition's face seems to have decided it had no desire to see that face evermore.
Angel Reese, 3-on-3, part 10, let's get up!
Hope you have window insurance.
Bang!
Not sure if I've ever seen her pass the ball. Let's see if it happens on this possession. Reese goes to her patented dipsy-doo. Let's see it. No!
Bang!
Oh, there it is. That's a pass, and it's picked off going the other way.
Oh, they fumble it back. Green team time!
Sidestep, 3-ball, butter pecan.
Reese's pump with the rebound! Chitty, bang, bang!
You'll need to find something you love as much as Angel Reese loves her mid-range. Beautiful.
Bang!
Reese entered the first season of Unrivaled as though she needed to prove herself. She discussed bringing swagger to women's basketball and altering the game. She established herself as invincible during her early moments, large stat lines, crowd enthusiasm, and numerous interviews. However, that assurance soon appeared to be static. There was a pattern hidden behind the eye-catching numbers. She was playing more for the cameras than her teammates, as evidenced by her numerous turnovers, frequent technical fouls, and body language. According to reports, teammates also noticed that, and not in a positive way. In the middle of the season, they observed her curating her social page and podcasting when the playoff race was getting closer. It became simple to speculate as to whether she was still in the comment section or in the game.
I had no idea that Angel Reese didn't even bother to show up. Did not show up to support her teammates. It was that unimportant, but yet took a victory lap that you won a championship? You got to be joking.
Angel Reese beating her shit. What y'all gonna say now? Now that I have this unrivaled championship that I didn't even...
She didn't when the NBA playoffs came around. Fans watched Reese celebrate via a phone screen rather than on the ground because she missed those final games. While she cheered from a FaceTime window like a faraway relative, her squad continued without her. The timing couldn't have been worse for a player who considered herself a champion. From the outside, it appeared more like bailing when things got tough than a break. That choice earned her a reputation for being untrustworthy when it counts most, which has followed her into every locker room ever since. And there was more than just frustration, unparalleled. The Chicago Sky witnessed the same pattern emerge in the WNBA. A wrist ailment stopped her rookie season early, while a poor back ruined her sophomore campaign. But a few weeks later, Reese made a lot of brand deals and social engagements that didn't seem to require any recuperation time.
This championship game was so unimportant. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'll watch from home. I'll watch this stream from home, and I'll FaceTime in if we win.
This league has got to figure out a way to honor Angel Reese in all this. That's right.
According to reports, the tension inside the Sky increased when those injuries coincidentally healed after the focus moved. Coaches reportedly questioned her concentration, leaving teammates to wonder if she would return in the middle of the campaign or be prepared to play. Such patterns endure. Talent only goes so far in professional sports, particularly when it appears that a person's commitment ends the moment accountability is revealed. Reese's departures began to resemble routines. And by her sophomore year, any box score was eclipsed by that reputation. Even Unparalleled, based as much on personality as play, began to see that personality was more problematic than it worth. Whispers became more audible within league circles. Quiet decisions are being made, but there is no public drama. Prior to Season 2, Unrivaled sought to create consistency. Furthermore, such form of vision does not include a single untrustworthy star. Executives reportedly saw that when her name trended, it was due to something messy off the court rather than her performance. The optics were no longer favorable. Players rolled their eyes, sponsors hesitated, and needless turmoil damaged the league's reputation. The easiest solution eventually turned into the most cruel one. Don't include her.
There's nobody in the world better at chasing down their own block shot than Angel Reese. One door closes, another opens. Look at that. Bang! Time to put respect on Angel Reese positioning under the basket. Look at the leverage she gets. Brianna Stewart, you're locked and loaded, girl. Rebound, Lexi Hole. Look at the seal out by Reese. What an opening. Easy layup. Bang! Bang! How about we finish off with some free throws? Flick of that wrist, bounce that ball. Flickety, flickety, boogity, bop.
There was no formal announcement required for the decision to exclude her. Let everyone else speak and just omit her name from the list. Fans would not receive closure from Unrivaled if they desired it. It was a straightforward message. They weren't waiting for Ree to leave this time. Behind her, they silently locked the door. The same athlete who had previously positioned herself as the league's trailblazer now appeared to be its cautionary story. After all, if your reputation is based on abandoning your team, how can you lead a team? There is more to the firing than just personal repercussions. It demonstrates a change in the culture of women's basketball, where players are now held to the same standards of accountability that they tweet about. The colleague observed that performance speaks louder than followers and that charisma, without dedication, wears off quickly. In contemporary women's basketball, other players are stepping forward with professionalism and consistency, changing the definition of leadership. And by drawing this line, Unrivaled has demonstrated that the new standard cannot be overshadowed by any amount of noise. Angel Reese was first regarded by Unrivaled as their crown treasure. Every highlight package made sure her face appeared first, every clip focused on her reactions, and every advertising relied on her name. The league posted a ton of content on social media, which received over 31 million views on various platforms. It was challenging to scroll without seeing Reese is promoting herself as the next big thing in the sport or a few days. The buzz was effective. She was in style. The league was doing well. And everyone appeared to believe that drama was a prerequisite for development. The numbers then fell apart. TV viewership fell to about 100,000 per game after that first weekend, losing 2/3 of the viewers. The memes persisted. The actual fans didn't. You could scroll through countless videos of her high-stepping after missed shots or trash-talking. However, the same individuals who were flooding the comment sections weren't attending games in their entirety. The league's analytics team saw it plain as day. Virality without loyalty. It turned out that a storm of clicks doesn't fill seats or lure sponsors into sending cash.
You just never know. You just never know with all the shit that's going on right now with the Chicago Sky, with all the shit that's going on with her.
The tone of the internal discussions quickly shifted. Once praising Ree as Unrivaled's front-facing star, league leaders began to raise the obvious question: does this attention generate revenue for us, or is it just noise? The pattern was not lost on sponsors. Very outburst and public dispute made it more difficult for Unrivaled to persuade partners that women's basketball could serve as the foundation of a pure, uplifting brand. Weekly updates on who Ree called out next replaced the headlines about competition. Her villain storyline became predictable, which irritated businesses that promote empowerment rather than chaos. It's a poor wager. According to sources, Unrivaled's marketing staff witnessed the return on investment charts decline into hazardous areas. Even if her name would receive millions of views in a single weekend, Ticket sales remained unchanged. At that point, the phrase diminishing returns began to circulate. More controversy no longer equated to increased involvement with Reese's drama. It turned off viewers. Viewers completely stopped watching after they discovered there was more finger-pointing than basketball at the end of each week. Her WNBA story was also affected in the similar way. She complains about her income one day and skips layups the next. The discrepancy between talk and results wears fans out. Thus, insiders referred to Reese's disappearance from the Season 2 roster as strategic silence. League was not required to make a public statement or provide an explanation. Hay wanted to change the tone in private. More gaming, less rumors. There were two uses for the quiet treatment. It marked a change in the brand's course and subdued the dramatic storyline. Silently excluding her conveyed a stronger message than any headline. More important than attitude is accountability. According to reports, investors praised the action, pointing out that credibility is based on steadiness. The collective sigh of sponsors weary of supporting her antics was practically audible. Maintaining required paying for unpredictability from a commercial perspective. He might attract attention, but at what price? League authorities were unwilling to take risks. Imagine a different season in which a player might retire prior to the playoffs, overshadowing the product they are attempting to develop. The simplest financial choice of the year was her absence. Unrivaled changed course, rather than putting good money after negative press. All of that rhetoric about being the league's spokesperson now seems like a costly exercise in influencer overreach. Ironically, Reese's persona-based and provocative approach originally appeared to be the way of the future for sports marketing. However, viewers don't want conflict. They are yearning to be connected to actual competition. Drama doesn't gain commitment, but it does provide momentary entertainment. Previously shown that the value of controversy had a hard ceiling. The material vanishes. The league didn't figure it out until the fans did. Her future was set when the second Unrivaled noticed that the attention she was receiving wasn't translating into paying clients. Personality battles are no longer a feature of the game. People now want evidence of advancement. And guess what? The Fever and players like Caitlin Clark are providing fans with just that. Unrivaled severing connections with Angel Reese subtly signaled the departure of more than one player. It was a triumph for a completely different basketball mindset. And finding its face doesn't need much searching. Caitlin Clark has emerged as a role model for how to lead without causing turmoil and how to develop a team by encouraging others around you rather than pursuing headlines. It's impossible to ignore the stark contrast. Clark developed a character based on patience, results, and consistency, whereas Rhea appeared to be preoccupied with crafting her own. Clark gave her more authority, the more Rhea clashed with teammates and detractors. The league's message is very clear. Players who view focus as an integral element of their brand will win the future. Not only are Clark's Indiana Fever becoming better, they are becoming kind of unified team that women's basketball has been longing for. Their chemistry became the talk of every game in 2024 and 2025. Aaliyah because of Clark's spacing, which pulls opponents out of the paint. Boston plays with more freedom. Thanks to those, Lexi Hall is abruptly experiencing her stroke once more that passes to the corner with superb timing. Because Clark doesn't control the ball, Kelsey Mitchell maintains her scoring rhythm. She makes things flow. Additionally, Sophie Cunningham entered the lineup and added toughness that Clark enhances rather than overshadows. On national television, none of this calls for yelling or swinging your arms. It's subtle leadership that relies on timing, repetition, and trust. Clark's versatility is highly praised by coaches. They highlight how deftly she interprets game circumstances and how infrequently she pushes her own highlights. Unlike the style of play that puts individual metrics above structure, Clark has turned unselfish decision-making into her defining move. People call it the Clark effect because everyone around her gets better. The dressing room remains constant, the spacing gets sharper, and the scoring spreads. It is visible on the faces of the participants. They are committed to something long-lasting. Although it doesn't trend online like a quarrel does, that kind of stability always prevails in the long run, and the outcomes are seen much beyond the court. Media outlets are vying for broadcast rights, item sales are increasing, and attendance at the Fever has surged to all-time highs. Clark created what other franchises spend 10 years pursuing in just 2 seasons: trust and identity. Once reluctant to invest in women's basketball, sponsors are now raising the alarm. They perceive dependability, expertise, and a product that families genuinely want to support. The league needs that in order to continue growing. In the meantime, Reese's former teams are dealing with controversy, half-empty stadia, and worn-out public relations staff. The figures are accurate. Authenticity and effort, not attitude, are what fans are drawn to. In women's basketball, redemption is no longer about a spectacular comeback tale. It has to do with constant dedication. Clark is a symbol of a fresh form of salvation, one based on self-control and discipline. Her ability to remain composed under duress is redefining star power. In the fourth quarter, when things become stressful, she doesn't assign blame. She refers to plays that unite people. That is the type of leadership that multiplies victories. For this reason, the Fever appears to be the model for the upcoming gaming era. In contrast, every offseason in Chicago appears to begin with rebuilding terms like new identity or fresh start. These expressions are simply codes indicating instability, which has accompanied Rhee everywhere she has traveled. Every league eventually comes to a decision on the kind of stars it wants to lead. That moment for women's basketball came when Unrivaled cut Rhee from the team and focused more on players whose brands don't require micromanagement. The power dynamic has clearly shifted in favor of athletes who treat their colleagues as collaborators, not props, and the court is like a workplace. Without ever preaching about it, Clark exemplifies that professionalism. Her colleagues' celebration of minor victories and her refusal to accept compliments during post-game interviews are 2 ways to read it. These 2 archetypes, Clark's steadiness and Reese's volatility, are changing the definition of a star as women's basketball gains popularity. Noise is no longer the goal of leagues. They are pursuing leaders who foster trust. For this reason, sponsors, fans, and executives are all supporting the Clark model. It creates something long-lasting rather than just winning games. And as Indiana prepares for the last stretch, it seems like the remainder of the sport is at last acknowledging that fact. One well-timed help at a time. Superior cutting. It seems like women's basketball finally decided to prioritize performance over noise with Reese loose. Fans have witnessed enough drama masquerading as self-assurance. For players who genuinely form teams, they're now appearing. That change makes sense. Effort, not volume, is what leads to loyalty. Every day, the Fever demonstrates how genuine attention is drawn to shared growth. Although Reese's departure made headlines, Clark's leadership continues to produce moments that teams can build upon. Leagues worldwide appear to grasp the new equation as the Fever moves into the offseason. Drama is a passing fad, but strong cultures are created by discipline, chemistry, and consistent leadership. Do you believe Unrivaled made the correct choice to fire Rhee? Tell us in the comments section below. To ensure you never miss anything, like, subscribe, and enable all notifications. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the following.